The old man built. The old man built. The old man built. The old man builds. The old man builds is broken in the head. People not seeing reality has put them in the red. Where conscious and spirituality was stricken from the norm and replaced with the ignorance of basic magnetic form. The geometry of God keeps running through his head. That's what makes old man builds broken in the head. The old man builds. The old man builds. Spheres of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to instead. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Nathan, otherwise known as Old Man Builds, and we have Paul here, otherwise known as Inventor3. How's it going?
Hello, hello, hello. Old Man Builds. Old Man Builds. I like that song in the beginning. That is cool. And I got my favorite sweatshirt on. See my little alien on there?
Nice. Oh, that's cool. 13th floor. Love it.
Anyhow. Oh, I hope everybody's having a good day out there.
Yeah.
We're all in our lab where we love to be. Well, I'm in my lab.
Right on. Thank you, Steve, for being a new member on the channel. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, problem. Man, how's everything going over there with you?
You got a nice beard.
It used to be longer, man. I had to cut it back.
I'm still working on mine. I don't know if you know, I had cancer a little while back.
No, I didn't.
I had a lump right here, so I had to have a lot of chemo and radiation. Actually, hair never grows right there. I lost some of my taste buds and my my saliva gland, so I gotta always drink something a little bit. I gotta have something, a little water or something nearby.
Understood.
After a while, my voice might get a little scratchy or something. It's just because of the stuff I went through there. They messed up my tongue. But yeah, let's talk science, huh?
Yeah. So, man, we got a lot of Tesla coil stuff going on. I love Tesla coils, as you already know, but you got some cool ones going on there, man.
Yeah, a little small one there. A little tiny guy, huh? Yeah, that's really fun.
Tell us a little bit about what you do on your channel.
A little bit of everything. Geez, I'm just like you, a big experimenter. I hope to invent or discover something new. Like Tesla, my intentions are to change the world. I'm for the people.
Nice.
Yeah, so I won't ever sell out, so don't worry about that. No matter what, if something happens, I'll make sure all my secrets, anything gets out there. You know, I was wondering about that too. What's your opinion on patents and stuff? You know, like I know for a while I was like not showing some of this. That's why I called it my secret sauce for a while. And I'm like, well, I want to get it in patent, but then a lot of people are like, well, don't patent it. Just put it out there right away. Just get it out there. You know, that's the only way it's ever going to happen. So I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air about that all the time because it's like I also don't want some. I want to build it, get it working right, and then give it to the world. And, you know, I could even make some cheap models and sell it to people for normal price. I said, but if some other corporation comes out there and sees it and they'll go, oh, you know, they'll get 10 patents on it overnight and I'll never be able to sell it, or I'll be able to build it, but I won't be able to sell it or anything, you know, and they'll take all the credit and everything else. So I don't know. I just wondering.
The way I see it, Tesla invented everything. There's not a thing that we're going to do that he hasn't done. And if we do, it's going to be one exciting adventure that no one's going to be able to patent it. I mean, so I just put it all out there, man. All of it's out there. All of it's for free. I don't mess around with patents. You know what I mean? If you watch the channel, you understand it. I mean, that's my gift to the world. You can have every single thing I create. Now, If it's something somebody else creates, you can't have it because I don't play that game. You know what I mean? But if that inventor wants it out, then I absolutely will help him do that. But yeah, I just don't see the point. I'm not looking to write a physics paper. I'm not looking to do a bunch of other stuff. And by the time I create something good, the government steps in and takes it anyway. So, I mean, get as much out there as you can, and then people can kind of follow in your footsteps later on. I mean, I'm still following guys from 10 years ago, man. Right. It's like new to me, so I'm just like, I got to do that. It's like a bucket list, man. You're just writing them down, going, I'm doing that one, that one, that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. I could show you around my lab, or I don't know if you want to show a video of my apparatus, or
you know what? Let's take a look at your apparatus first, because I want everybody to see what you're doing over there. So let me pull that up, because that's so cool, man. Like, I used to own a cabinet shop, so I absolutely love woodworking.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Let's see here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, take a look at this, guys. There's no nails in this thing when he did it. Look at this.
Okay, finally. Oh, man. After, 5 months of putting down a new floor and cleaning the lab, then I said, I got to make a bench to work on. I had one too many tables in here. So this is it. It's got a leveling feet on there, some little side rails. Notice all the wood is interlocked. Okay, it's all carved out, interlocking.
Nice.
Look at that joint. There's no way you're ever going to remove these boards pinned in there. No nails, no screws, no metal parts except for the leveling feet.
That's the important thing.
That's it. Now, let me show you the rest of it. Hang on. Okay. Check this one out, right? Nice shelf down here.
Nice.
The cool thing about that is, if you're sitting over here, it's easy to access all three sides. If you're sitting over here, you don't feel like getting up, you can slide the back under table towards you. And that's here. Hold on. Oh, yeah.
I gotta build one of those for mine, a top to put on top of it.
Yeah.
So it looks nice when I take those pretty pictures of coils, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Nice table.
Get that nice lacquer finish on there.
4 foot by 3 foot. Like 7 layers of enamel coating on there. I should have just got a roller and some liquid instead of spray.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Yeah.
Kept absorbing in,
Let's look at that real quick. Nice, huh? Yeah.
Oh. Old school.
Yeah, baby.
The last penny of 220, and then
table
spray
to
it.
work on and to do the project. So, I mean, I still have this table here. We'll show you more of that later. Anyhow, all right, let me show you the project part now of this table. Hang on. All right, now.
Oh, dude, I love this part. Okay, these are cool.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Good comments out there. Wait till you see this.
It's like old school engineering right here. I love this.
I love old school.
That goes there. This goes here. There we go. Yes. Hold on.
What is it? What is it?
What the heck, Paul? Yes. Remember, I always work with 3 plates? This middle one is fixed. This one is fixed. I can't actually pull them out of here, too. I could pull them out. There's a lot of designing on this. I went through different design concepts until I come up with something that's fairly simple, but not. It took a lot of thought.
Yeah, let's
There's
see. You
a
can skip.
crankshaft.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
Oh, there's a motion right there.
where you can pull them up and down with the little wheel on the side, right?
Yeah, back up 5 seconds or something there. I think you could see it then.
Okay.
Let's see.
Or whatever, but yeah, here you go, guys. Watch this now. Okay. When I turn this,
Oh, that's cool.
yes,
It collapses.
it's a beautiful
Nice.
thing.
I used to have to put all these little boxes and
Back.
spacers in between them, changing the spacing, and
You
now
open
I
up.
could just get it exactly to where you want it.
Oh, I so love that.
And you could fast forward a little bit more. Then I set it up, and you could see my setup on there then with the plates and everything.
Okay, let's take a look. Let me get
Yeah,
that.
right.
So we get the Tesla coils in there.
Even explain the whole circuit. Let's see, maybe here. Let's see. I don't know.
Well, let's give it a shot.
Ha! Okay, got those LEDs lit now. They're not as bright yet as I'm going to get them. Just still playing around. Yeah, I had to go to a higher frequency. That's lit down there. You can see, too, if I adjust these plates.
Here we go.
Lights out. Let's go the other way. Lights on, lights out.
Oh,
They only work
See how
right when you
nice
get that
that
spacing
is
just
now?
right. And resonate.
We also noticed, now see, it was
okay. Hold on. I gotta pause it. So he's got metal plates on every level, and based on the how much you put them together, man, that's so cool. It's actually a variable capacitor, right?
Well, that's the thing. I've done experiments now. If I separate these plates more on a capacitor, you would get more voltage, but I don't here. So that's different. And also, usually the smaller of a space you have between plates allows lower frequencies, or I'm sorry, higher frequencies in between. But actually, when I come closer to my plates, the frequency lowers instead of increases. So that's interesting too. So I haven't figured out exactly what those plates are. If there are the capacitors, I thought about the Biefeld-Brown effect. I thought about all different possibilities with those plates. I still haven't got it all figured out. The Casimir effect. I thought about that too. But yeah, anyhow, I'm still
Variable
trying to
three-plate
figure it
cap.
out. Yeah. I think that was about that then, huh? In that video.
It's interesting that you would pick 3 plates. So what was the design concept between 3 plates instead of like 2?
It's strange. I actually started with something like this.
Okay, I'll pull this
This
off
is
for a second.
actually, this is actually one plate. And you'll see one tab at this end, one tab at that end. This is actually one plate in there. And then the transmitter, TX, receiver, RX. The receiver wraps entirely around the transmitter. So the idea was I didn't want to lose any energy, like a radio tower in the 1800s giving off energy to all these crystal radio sets in people's houses.
Mhm.
I tried to explain to people many times. I said, it doesn't matter if there's 100 people tuned in or 100,000 people tuned in. It's not like a power station or a radio station where, or a power station, I mean, where an electric plant where it gets bogged down, everybody turns on their air conditioner in the summertime or something. It's not like that. The radio tower, you got unlimited amounts of energy, and it's just radiating. A lot of it is lost. A lot of it's radiating off in all different directions, up, down, this way, that way. So all that energy, I wanted to collect it all. So that's how I came up with this design. And then eventually I did the 3 plates where I've kind of got them a little bit more separated, but it's almost the same concept, and it's working really good too. So
That's so cool, man.
That's what did it though. I was thinking about that radio tower and all the wasted energy radiating off in all directions. I'm like, it's all wasted. I said, why not collect everything on that? You know, let's circle that transmitter. Let's encase it.
Nice.
I thought about spheres too. Maybe you can have a sphere inside of a sphere inside of another sphere.
Oh, come on now. That's what I'm doing right now.
Are you?
Yeah. That's what I have on the bench right over here.
No joke. Really? Wow.
No joke, man. I'll show it to you in a minute. Hey, I just want to say hi to Charlie C out there. He said to ask you about Hutchinson samples.
INVENTOR3 Tesla coils and Hutchinson samples. What do you want to know about them? They're all real. He's real. I got to make a whole video about John. Here, I got like let's see right here. I don't know if you can see this. Here's 7 of his samples right there. Here's one you might see in his video wiggling around. It almost comes alive like that.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Here's some. This is an unknown alloy he created, unknown to man, a mixture of metals never known. This was some, oops, let's see if I can get that right. Some aluminum pieces here that just exploded, burst apart. I don't know if you can see this copper piece okay here. The end of a bar. Just the way it just mushroomed out.
Wow.
And this big one right here. And yeah, John's very real. I know there's a lot of people question about him. I guess that's probably because it's maybe a younger generation. And, well, a lot of people don't know that he had over 3,000 videos on YouTube. They were all deleted. He lost them all. He had so much footage, so much stuff out there. I've seen every single one of his videos, every single one of them. Well, he's actually got a lot more yet. He's still downloading today.
Yeah.
Someone's been helping him with that. Matthew, a guy named Matthew, he's doing a really good job though. I gotta get the word out there that John's not fake. He's for real. Believe me. There's many people, film people, that caught his effects on film.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of people that have seen it. And he hasn't had like a few samples of 100. He's had thousands of metal samples and his skid's full and he sent them all over. I remember it wasn't that long ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. He started asking for them all back and he kept showing me stuff. The skids full of boxes of all these metal samples sent over there to this country, to that country, all these different scientists all around the world. And I've seen the results of a lot of these people too, that they've listed and showed that there's no messing around. He didn't heat it up with a torch or stick a clamp on there and twist it or manipulate it with heat or this or that. There's no explanation. He's for real. And believe me. So, yeah.
Let me tell you, everybody on this channel is a Hutchinson fan, and so am I, man. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, I remember when you were talking once about him cleaning up the river, Indian River. I forgot the name of it, but
yeah,
that was analyzed too. And it was funny because here's John for you. He took a aluminum rowboat, and it was a nice size one. He stands it up on its side. And he turned it into a giant speaker to go across the lake. So I loved it. I'm like, yeah, that's beautiful. I love it, man. You talk about old school. Turn a rowboat into a speaker. And then he's got all his tones. Yeah, his healing tones. Oh, God, there was even one time he sent me a Johnny tube. It was rolled up with magnetite. And he actually recorded these tones into a coil, special coil. And I had it for a lot of years. I had it outside, and I had it going with a wire to a coil that coiled around my pine tree, the base of the pine tree. He says you want to use a pine tree because just like Tesla, it's all about those millions of little points out there. And this was to clean the radiation in the air around us. He sent a bunch of these Johnny tubes out to different people around the country, and that he's really cleared a lot of radiation. Unfortunately, one of my lawn care guys got it caught in their lawnmower or something. I went out there and saw it all chewed up one day.
Oh,
I warned him about it months earlier, and he was very careful about it. But then all of a sudden, maybe he hired another guy that forgot about it or something. I was like, oh man, I can't believe this. But
that's kind of one of those things that's like a one-off, isn't it? You don't get another one.
yeah, right. Geez, I could talk about John all day. Boyd Bushman. You probably all saw Boyd Bushman's final interview.
I didn't. I'm not
Oh, you
aware
didn't?
who
Really?
he is.
A lot of people out there might have seen it, and it's coincident. He must have known he was going. It was his time because it wasn't. I think it was like 1 month after he recorded that. And Boyd Bushman shows all these pictures of these aliens, and he had a little piece of a spaceship that he hung on a scale along with some other weights, and he showed that this weight lost mass because he had the piece of the spaceship on there.
Nice.
And but it's funny because John posted these pictures of this alien and this stuff quite a few years before Boyd Bushman even put it out there. So he was in contact with Boyd Bushman all the time. And he's his cool patents, really. Yeah, right. Skunk Works. I was going to say he's a senior scientist, Lockheed Martin Skunk Works.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now I'm about to look him up.
Yeah, and Boyd Bushman, he's known too. A lot of people know about him dropping the magnets off a tower.
The older guy. He dropped both the magnets. Okay, yes.
Yeah, he put the two magnets with the same poles together.
Yeah.
Wrapped it up, and then you got two other magnets with opposites attracting, and he dropped them simultaneously from the top of the building, and he showed that the two with the same poles opposing each other fell slower. And it's just like unbelievable. That was a beautiful, beautiful thing. I could even show you this here real quick. That kind of reminds me of my, let's see if you could see that green pipe there. Let's see, that's just hanging there. It's actually magnetic viewing paper around there. Let me take this off. Hold on. I know I'm kind of moving the camera around here. I'll get it better. Now I've got these two magnets. They're super glued together.
Okay.
The same poles facing each other. Now I'm going to drop this through this copper tube. Now I've also got layers. This is like 3 or 4 tubes inside of tubes.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to drop it now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now this paper I think is a little too old. I can't quite tell where it's at anymore. But hang on. Let's see this. Whoops. Uh-oh, what happened? I lost picture.
We can still see you.
Can you see that mirror?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that magnet is still falling. Hang on. I think it's coming. I hope I got the camera centered okay.
There yeah, you good. Oh, there it is. Nice.
All that time. All right, now where the heck do I let's see what happened here. Settings. There we go. Okay. So that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Quite a long time to drop through there. I guess since I'm walking around, I can show you the rest of the lab real quick if you want.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. My 6-foot tall Jacob's ladder here. Hold on, let me turn this around a little better. As I kind of walk in my lab, and I'm up against this big wall here. I got stuff as soon as I come in. Let's see. I don't know if you can see down there okay or not. Lots of crystals, quartz crystals, crystal balls, lots of magnets, photo stuff. Oh, here. Let's see if you can see this okay. Whoops, what happened? Now I lost my picture again. What the heck's popping up here? More stuff is popping up. What the heck is on the top?
Well, we can see you, so.
Good. I just don't know if I'm aiming this in the right direction here. You see that coil?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Now you're
See that
froze.
coil okay?
Yeah, I can see it now. We're
What
good.
is there? Where did everybody go? Hold on. I see you. Oh, we're stuck. There we go.
There we go.
We good now?
Yeah, we're good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We're good.
Let's see if I try this again. Okay, there. Now you can see that coil.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you might have seen this before. Let's see. I'm going to try to hold my computer here and plug this in. There's real
nice.
levitation there.
What, you got aluminum under that?
Yes. Yes,
Nice.
those plates. Did many experiments with different thicknesses and eddy currents. Yeah, and then I got some, there's bismuth, pyrolytic graphite, levitation with I don't know if you can see that a little bit. Pyrolytic graphite levitating. Bulb. Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff down there. High voltage stuff. Plasma bulb, of course.
Nice.
My Tesla coil. Hutchison samples. This stuff. Oh, now I just got this roll of foil. Makes me feel like a little tiny person. Look how giant this
Nice.
is.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Industrial size.
Yeah. George Green's magnetic ring. I don't know if you ever saw that before. Let's see. I was doing experiments for a long time. Oh, I should have got some hot water. This is nitinol. I don't know if you ever worked with that at all. Memory wire.
No, it's like a toaster wire.
Yeah, it looks like that. It's a spring. Actually, if you put this in hot water, it'll close up. And it's got memory on it. You'll have to look that up. That's pretty cool stuff. And there's a guy named Richard Banks made up a whole engine, a motor that works off that. You just put hot water in it and thing starts up. And that's like another free energy thing. There's an electret I built, but it failed. I forgot to add the rosin. I went through so much hassle setting that up. That was such a dangerous experiment. The high voltage and having to keep it charged the entire time while it's solidifying and everything. There's a ferro fluid. I don't know if you ever saw ferro fluid. That's pretty cool. Aerogel.
Wow.
You ever see aerogel? Let's see if I still got any in here. Kind of breaking up over the years. Oops, wait, where's the camera?
Go a little higher. There you go. And what is that again?
They call it aerogel, frozen
Aerogel.
smoke. Blue smoke or aerogel, frozen smoke, blue smoke they call it. It's like almost like a super light. It's one of the lightest it's almost like air. And they use this on a satellite for collecting dust in the cosmos, cosmic dust on satellites and then analyzing it. There's barium titanate. John Hutchison uses this. he made up a big free energy device for Japan. I
Mhm.
think he, man, $75,000 or something, but way back then it was a lot of money. I know one guy actually offered me $10,000 for this, and he would even come by and pick it up and give me the cash. And he knew John, and I turned him down. And I don't have that kind of money, believe me. I actually turned him down. I said, that's one of my prized possessions in here.
Well, yeah.
It's got all the different effects, the piezoelectric effect, everything. More barium titanate. Yes. Tesla hairpin circuit, which we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. People love that hairpin circuit, man. There's a lot of people out there tuning in just to see that.
Yeah, I wish I had it up right. Oh, wait, you have a video, though.
I do.
Right, the Tesla hairpin condensed shots or something?
Yep. When you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's take a look at that real quick.
Give me a second.
Safe electricity and more, a lot of things.
Give me 1 second to pull it up.
Yeah. Good. And I'm going to start my little heater here real quick, my propane heater. Seconds.
All right, I'm gonna try now. There we go. There's a little tiny wire. Look for the red tape. There's 2 wires coming off of here. They're number 36 gauge wire. It's 0.005. It's about the thickness of a human hair, literally. Okay, I got them coming over here. Where's the black tape hanging? They're hanging from strips of black tape. Going over there, going down there, against the wall to a 50-watt bulb under this glass dome here. And we're going to see if we can light that up. 3, 2, 1.
Nice.
That wire is basically thinner than the filament inside that bulb, but yet those wires don't burn up.
Just
freaking
amazing.
That's another
these
one
wires are only 5 thousandths
thick.
thick. I believe they're thinner than the filament that's in the bulb.
Nice.
Think about that. The fluorescent bulb connected in series with the halogen bulb over here with the filament.
I don't think you can get those two in any other system to work together like that. I would also stick one rod. I would connect those two, put a shunt across them, put one rod in the ground.
Here we go.
And walk around that bulb in my yard like it lights up every time I touch the ground. Here, watch this.
Gotcha. Hang on. Turn the volume.
Hey, Tesla, you've never let me down. Don't let me down now.
Oh. Just hold on. I gotta say this. This is like a test of manhood when you go to do this, because it's like you know at any point you could get shock of your life. You know what I mean? But you gotta do it.
Just to get up the balls to touch this. Yes.
Oh.
You nailed it. Watch it.
Oh, there it is. Nice. On both of them.
You see the bulb lighting up right there. That's attached to them.
Look at that. Oh, baby.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's not even hot, is it?
no.
Bare
No.
probes in water while the bulb is lit.
I actually stuck my fingers right to the rod, real close like that, and I could actually see all these little blue sparks. And I'm like, but it's not like electricity. It's that RF.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's a different feeling. It's pretty cool. The blue corona on there, like, yeah,
Oh,
okay.
hold on. I'm gonna bring back the video in just a second. The blue corona. Most people don't understand this. You get that with that cold side of electricity. That when you can put it in water like that and not get that shock, you get that blue corona. It usually happens when it's like cold outside for me and I put it outside. I get it running right across the wire.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, when you could see it, man. I get so excited.
Right
the
on.
smell of ozone. I love it.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Time for the water test.
Each end going to the rods. I'm going to turn out the lights here. All right. Tesla, don't let me down, man. Please don't let me down.
Oh. It looks intimidating, too. It's that spark sound. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There it is. It would have got you by now already.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Nice.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it. In water, out of water, in water. Yeah, baby. There it is.
Bare wires right there, man.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, my heart is racing. Oh, that is so cool feeling. Oh my God. There's so many questions.
Miscellaneous.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that got the adrenaline going.
I tell you, man, that's so exciting, especially the first time you do it, because you get so nerved in your head and you're like, oh man, I'm freaking out, right?
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. Well, I see this command. I don't have it drawn up, but I can show you how I got this all wired up. Huh?
Hold on. So let's talk a little bit, and then we'll get into the secret sauce that you got going on there. So tell me about the Tesla coils that you normally work with. I think you're in the megahertz or gigahertz on those coils.
With these ones behind me on this?
Yeah.
No. I'm in about 2 megahertz, 1 to 2 megahertz mainly.
So what made you think of going to that frequency right there?
It was well, I was kind of starting with Don Smith, and I saw one of his videos, and he actually went up to the board and he was actually drawing his schematic. Now I know he didn't include everything. There's something missing or whatever. He had investors, he says. So but anyhow, he went through his first stage. And that's where I got stuck. I did something and it just threw me off in another direction. But anyhow, he was like working in 200 megahertz. It's only like a 4-foot long wire. And I said, well, I'm going to start out a little bit lower first and lower voltages first to get an understanding and, get a feel of this first. I don't want to kill myself.
Exactly.
So that was it. I just, I said, well, let's start out with 20 megahertz instead of 200. And that's what I wound up starting with. So that's 20 megahertz. I forgot it's about 48 feet long or something. That's what made me pick that. So it wasn't anything special or something. I just started with that. And I think I got really lucky, though. Everything's working out good all the time. I got good spidey senses, you could say.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it. I've seen your inventions, man. They're really cool.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I got a question here from Charlie C. How many free energy devices do you have working?
My free energy is another thing. Like my, oh, actually, I got some. I don't even know if my crystal cells are still working or not. That's another thing I went through with John. Now, all his crystal cells. If you could see inside that box. I don't know if any of these even work anymore. I have to check them out. This is like a, whoops, if I can get that crystal cell.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if they still, I haven't checked them in a while. It's all green. Can you tell the copper's in here?
Yeah.
So I don't have that many free energy. You know, I mean, I got the barium titanate cylinder. It's like, well, you know, you got to add a lot more stuff on there before it's free. Even with the over Unity project, I got my lights back there. I mean, we still got to figure out a way to make that a self-sustained loop. You know, so I think we can. You know, it should be no problem pretty soon. I just want to get it going the best we possibly can. So yeah, the actual free energy, nothing right now. Boy, that memory wire thing, that got me going for a long time, because that one, yeah, that could be ran off of you know, when they actually came out with that, it was a very expensive. It's memory wire is made up of like 51% titanium and 49% nickel. And it's weird when you put them two together, you get that effect. And it really depends on that 1% off. If you go 51% with the nickel or 51% with the titanium, it makes a difference. You could even program that memory wire to have double memory, so you could apply hot and it'll go this way or whatever, apply cold and it'll go that way, so to speak.
I got something. I got something for you. Okay.
Yeah.
I talked to Tim Tron last week, and he was telling me take a ferrite toroid. Okay. Just round one.
Yep.
So about halfway through on the bottom, and you can put a pin in it, right? You can't go all the way through because it'll crack and break in half. So you put that in there, right? And then create a winding. Like
you got like a toroid.
Toroid. Yeah, sure. We're going to create a winding about this high. And we're going to go one winding here and then double windings here. Okay. On the other side, it'll be like he calls it a bit. So what it's doing is it pulses so fast that it cannot tell which one is on or off, right? It bounces back and forth. So it doesn't know. It's like a mirrored effect. Like it's mirroring the effect. So it doesn't know that the energy is being used. So it keeps it going and goes back and forth, back and forth. Now,
really,
that's what I was talking to you about earlier about the bit. Now, you did it with your LEDs. So would you want to describe that a little bit before I show that?
With this system here, or was that right?
Yeah, it was with your secret sauce. The video with your secret sauce. You did it with two LED banks or big LED banks.
Yeah, I had 1,500 LEDs lit with the same concept. And that was only 12 volts, like 200 milliwatts. I mean, it was very little current or anything. Yeah. That was, that's something. There's so many different setups I had with the same thing before. There's one time I can't forget, even in my open sourcing video, I know I show the people the schematic, but I've got hundreds of LEDs here, and they're all the negative ends are all connected together to one wire. And then I've got hundreds more LEDs here that all come together. It's like a string of 150, 150, 150, 150, and they're all coming together. One negative to all the negatives on this one. This one I might be feeding with my frequency generator. Again, only 12 volts, very, very low energy. And then I connect those two negatives together. And this one here will have going to earth ground. But if you get that balance just right, when I hook this one up to this one never dims out. It's like doesn't dim at all. And all of a sudden you've got hundreds more just lit up. And the interesting thing is you're hooking negative to negative. It's like, wait a minute, how's that happening? Where are the electrons coming from? So you know there's only one. You're sucking them up from the ground. You're sucking them from the air. I've done it many different ways. You know what that is, right? The vortex.
Oh, I know exactly what that is. We just watched Sean the other day, and he was doing that. He takes his spool of wire, and he uses it as his ground. So
really? Yeah.
On his Tesla coil. So it kind of tripped you out. It's like, okay, so how does that work? Why is he getting energy? And it pulls right to his Tesla coil because he made a round one, and it's working on negative. So it'll pull everything from the ground into it. It's like a draw. And it's the same
like
concept.
Working in reverse or something, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So he's taking the energy field of the ground and pulling it to his Tesla coil. So all he's got to do is cap it in between, and he can start pulling energy out of it with no problem, just out of a spool of wire sitting in his garage. You know what I mean, or in his workplace.
Yeah, yeah. I have not tried that myself, but for years, I remember there was a popular video out there called Tesla's Little Secret. And that's all the guy talked about. Everybody's running their Tesla coils backwards. Yeah.
I run mine, my Slayer exciter backwards in a PNP instead of an NPN. And let me tell you what, the energy is so much better.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I get that sucker, man. It's like 5 feet out at 40 volts all day. So
nice.
All right, hold on. Let's go ahead and let's pull up that video, a little bit of the secret sauce here.
Okay.
I'm going to show you original schematic when I had about 700 LEDs. And you can go back to this video series and check that video out. When I had, it says in the title, wireless power transfer, WPT, 700 LEDs lit now. Anyhow, then I'm going to show you the original schematic. I'm going to show you, then I'm going to show you the schematic that I'm using now. I'm going to explain everything. And then I'm going to go through and show you exactly everything I've got and explain it along the way. Take notes or questions you want to think about during this video.
Yeah, pause it for a second.
Okay.
All right.
That's the schematic I was telling you about now. That's where I've got hundreds of LEDs. And if somebody would replicate that, I'd love it. And you don't have to do it hundreds of LEDs. Do it 10 LEDs on one side and 10 on the other. That's where I was telling you about all the negatives connected to the negative. And yeah, go ahead. I explained it a little bit there.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah.
Here's the first original schematic I had when I had about 700 LEDs. I'm going to explain all this more in depth in a little while. But you can see my main source comes in here. And here's 3 strings of jumbo LEDs. Like I said, you can look back to that video. There's 80 LEDs, 80 jumbo LEDs, 80 jumbo LEDs. I should say 80 in series, 80 in series, 80 in series. That's a lot of voltage. That's a lot of energy. All right. Now, all 3 of those chains, the negative end, and I've told you guys this a few times. Now, these are only like 3 millimeter LEDs because I didn't have any more jumbos. I should have went with the same thing. It would have made things a lot easier, I bet. Yeah. And here's a little. Okay, this is the main.
Okay, before we get to the secret sauce, now, You said that they would be easier if they were the same, right? So can you explain to everybody what the balance is all about?
Oh my God. Yeah. There's even a part of the circuit that I would even hang. They got to be, if it's probably the load, or what is it that's balancing it? You know, first you got to remember an LED is like 4 different things. It's a diode, right? It's a capacitor. There's an anode and a cathode. It's got to build up a certain amount of voltage before it jumps. It's a spark gap. So it's a resistor. So that's what I think you're balancing, is all those things I just mentioned with the other side. So since I got jumbos on one side, if I would have just put jumbos on the other side, I could have probably put the exact same amount and everything would have worked nice. But since I had smaller LEDs over here, I had to put more LEDs here than, you know, the big ones over here to kind of balance that out. And if things aren't perfectly balanced, nothing's going to light up. That's the beauty of it. And like I said, when you connected all these hundreds and more, all of a sudden these didn't even dim one little tiny bit. And it's just this beautiful thing. It's like, ah.
It's like the power is just going back and forth between the two.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, I don't know if it's got something to do with the coils and the collapsing fields. If like maybe when they collapse, then they're sucking and drawing the energy from that ground, allowing the other ones to light up. Because I believe these are lit, these are not. And then when these are lit, these are not. I think they're kind of switching back and forth, because you're going on, off, on, and off. One's positive, one's negative. I'm like, yeah, it could be, you know, I don't know. I'm not positive.
Do you have the circuit running in the negative?
Well, right now it's negative and positive. Mainly I'm using the positive. The negative is just kind of smacking it, giving us some help. I don't know how to explain it. It's like tapping that swing, right? You talk about that resonance. And it's funny. You know, my stepson, I gotta just talk about this. He had a baby swing, you know, and he's putting all these big D-sized batteries in there, and he pushes the kid on there, and I hear the thing go pop, 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 and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, oh man, he's gonna be changing those batteries every hour or something. But then I looked at it, I'm like, what the heck's a pop? And I'm like, oh, he's got it. The new swings, they just smack it, they just tap it just at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's that resonance. I'm like, oh, I love this. I'm like, that's a beautiful example of resonance and tapping that swing at just the right time. You gotta smack it at the right time, otherwise it don't work. Anyhow,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I kind of
No, it's okay, man. I'm all for it. Yeah, this is cool. Okay. I only asked about the negative because when you run things in negative, you don't get the positive heat loss. So
yes. And I heard you could charge the batteries better that way too, off the negative than positive, right?
That's right. So it's a different way to look at things, and then the harmonics back and forth, that's also plays a part. It's
right.
Equalizing the load. You're just bouncing the load. It doesn't know when to shut off. If there's no heat in the system, it just bounces back and forth all day on that resonance.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about harmonics too. That's why all my coils are in harmonics of each other. 10 megahertz, 20 megahertz, 40, 80. They're all in harmonics of each other. So no matter what, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. All right, let's go over this circuit a little bit. Here we go with secret sauce. Oh, sorry.
All right, now down here, 468 LEDs. Yeah, what is that? 156, or I forgot how many in series. 156 in series, 156 in series. And it goes down to earth ground. Bridge rectifier. Now you see there's 3 little dotted circles I have here. Right at this
Hey,
point,
Justin.
I hung a wire down, and you can see in my videos, like I said, go back to that video. I forget what number it is, but look for the title. You guys can search for it yourself, no problem. Go to my channel. You hang a wire. And guys, listen, what I'm giving you today is a lot. This could be world changing. This a lot could be done with this, but it's going to take some time and a lot of experimenting. And there's a lot of guys out there who are better at electrical engineering than I am. I'm open sourcing this. So the one thing you could do for me, I've got no donation button or this and that. And yeah, anyhow, you could help me by sharing this video. Make this the one freaking video that you share. This is the video. All right. So this one wire, I've lit bulbs off of that. I put a lot of power. There's a lot of energy at that point. Now you can see how at this point, I've talked about Dr. Stifler before, and you could say at this point, I never thought of myself as copying Stifler. That's why I've told you guys there's the Mueller loop. And I said, well, the more I thought about it, I said, this is a loop.
There's a
And
loop.
there's one string going through the middle.
3 strings actually.
And it's connected to another loop. This is a double loop, see? And these strings. Now, the important thing about this setup, when you get this balance, believe me, the number of LEDs I had to have here had to be perfect. And sometimes I even add a length of wire off that center spot. When you get these two balanced just right, that's why I said I should have used the exact same LEDs here and here. It would have made things easier. But when you get
Okay, I'm going to pull it forward in here in just a minute.
Yeah.
I just wanted to explain the wire real quick before we go there. Pulling the wire off is like when you balance your Tesla coils, and they have to be the exact same thing. Okay, so you can measure it in weight of the copper, you know what I mean, or length of wire.
I've seen people do that, talk about the mass all the time.
That's right. So that's in order to put it in resonance, because you have to have that amount of conductive material attached to it in order to have the frequency hit the same exact spot. That's all it is. It's like tuning. So when I had to tune my Tesla coils, I had 4 receiving coils and 1 main coil. I simply pulled the wires off one by one until it exactly hit the right spot.
I love it. Yep. I can't tell you how many times I just add a little length of wire. Sometimes I'll use a bunch of little short alligator clips and just connect them, making it longer and longer. Let's see if this is a little bit weak. Oh, wait, let's add some wire on there.
That's right.
Yeah. How many times just a length of wire will make the difference between it working and not working.
That's the difference between hitting resonance and not. All right, let's bring it back up. I'm going to pull it forward just a little bit because you're going to explain it twice.
Right.
we come out here, here's a little AV plug I use right here. You can see it's lit up right now. It just goes 2 diodes. That's it. See, I just stick it under this cord here, or lay it across it, or whatever you want. And when you see that light, and this is just nothing, this just hangs here. It's just acting like there's a little bit of a ground. Like that LED will get brighter if I touch it too. It should.
Those AV plugs are great tools.
That's right.
Nice.
But anyhow, that is a signal indicator too for me when my loop is in resonance and things start working, that will light up. Now, sometimes you have 2 resonant frequencies, so you got to keep scanning, make sure it could resonate and things could light up and work at 2 different frequencies, but one is mainly always going to be better than the other. All right, so let's go down the line here. I'm sorry. Here's our cord here, I got it taped down. It's actually back here. Okay. Now here's where the positive and negative separate. Positive was the one end of this coil. There's that coil. Right there. There's everything on it. Okay. It's a 20 average AWG 20 gauge, 0.031 thousandths in diameter approximately. All right, so the other end of that coil, yeah, we're going to follow the positive end first. Actually, here's the negative end right next to it. Here's a positive, here's a negative. There's a positive, positive. All right, there's a lot of stuff and wires in the way here, guys, but this is it here. And here it is. I've always told you guys what I'm hiding from you is simple, but yet at the same time, it's really cool. Like I said, it was just something so that in case I've ever wanted to patent it later on, and I've had it online this whole time, I would probably still be able to do that because I did not show the whole system. Anyhow, all right, let's move that.
Nice.
There's
That's
my
the
wooden
same one you were,
blocks.
yeah, the
This
one you were
is,
telling us about earlier.
Don't need wooden
My
blocks anymore.
TXRX, you can see my receiver. Those blocks of wood are just some spacers. Just have a piece of sheet metal over it. Let me show you this real quick. There was my schematic. There you go.
There you go.
So you got the transmitter is one plate. The receiver
Right there.
wraps all the way around the transmitter. Okay, so there's you're basically you're receiving 100% of your energy. Now this plate, this is your negative. Okay, that was the other wire that was over here. Now that comes down. That comes down. Oh, it's actually, that's why I said it's kind of messy here, but it comes around to the other side. And this is it here. It's actually not the same color as it was over there, but this is the same wire. I guarantee you it connects right there. If I touch this plate, it'll throw everything. The lights will dim.
Oh, body capacitance.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
How many times I get
the
that skin
distance to
effect?
these plates is
Yeah.
very important. Okay, I don't know what you would want to call this plate. Maybe it's a dampening plate, or I don't know, but it helps a lot. I don't know if this is what's helping in getting that square spikes on those square waves or not. I've showed you these LEDs down here. They're blinding right now. And they're just, you see, oh, I can't even see where I'm pointing the camera now. Hold on. Oh, no, I got my, hold on. I go up there. I hope to God I'm filming this.
I get a lot of energy this way.
A bunch of diodes up here. They're just hanging underneath.
Okay, so let's go into that. What is it that the diodes are doing right there?
Here's a string of diodes. You can see just on a piece of cardboard right now.
Okay.
And this string of diodes will pick up the energy from those plates and rectify it and everything else. And you get a lot of energy out of this. I just got some new diodes to try out too. These are 1N4148. They're high switching.
Fast switching, yes.
Yeah, but hooking stuff to that, you can see in the video how bright those LEDs are there now. And I've hooked quite a few LEDs off of those too. I'm going to get around to that setup, and that's one of my best setups too. I think we might even get more lamps lit and even brighter than I've ever had them yet, because, well, now I'm going after, now I'm using like a half a watt instead of a quarter of a watt like I was before. Everything you're looking at in those videos are only a quarter of a watt.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to get up there, and I'm going to have another challenge now too, is because most frequency generators can only put out 20 volts. And it's like, I need more voltage than that. Remember, it's not about the current, right? It's about voltage. So I need a little more voltage to get up to that 1 watt. I want to see what I could do at 1 watt. You know? So I'm not there yet. So, yeah.
Well, you're how do I say this? You're not allowing for back EMF. You're catching the power and keep pushing it along with those diodes, right? So instead of it stopping here and having a little, back EMF in it, you're pulling it through. It goes to the next one, then it pulls to the next one. So you're like a voltage multiplier would be, but without the capacitor in it.
Yeah, and that's strange too. I've experimented with a number, and for some reason, 18 diodes. I don't know what is controlling that yet, but that seems the best way. If I go to 20 or 24 diodes, it's not as good or if I go more or less, it's not as good of results. So I'm like, is that
diode depletion zones give you capacitance?
Zones are what gives them capacitance. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be charging some capacitors real soon too. In the near future, I've done that in the past too. I could charge up capacitors so fast on this without being.
Yeah, our chat's smart, man. They know a lot of stuff out there. Trust me, they've been building this for a while.
I know. Thank you, guys, man. I love my audience. It looks like you got a good audience too, and good people. Yeah. You know, we like sharing everything. I get so much information from my subscribers and stuff. Thank you guys so much, man.
Well, they lead you like a leading the horse to water, man. They just, hey, this is where it's at. This is what you need to look at because we know where you're going, right?
Right.
They probably read every patent that's out there. Most of these guys, and they just go, okay, yeah, we're just over here slamming stuff together, and they're like, okay, let me help you out. This goes here. I get that a lot, and trust me, they help me out a ton.
Yeah, good people.
All right, let's get back. We're looking at diodes back into the secret sauce.
Stuck into that piece of styrofoam, just close to our plates. So from there, then, like I have on the schematic that I showed you, this white wire comes up, and that's it. Goes into our loop. So this coil here. Now this one is like 4 times. This should be about 10 megahertz. It's in a harmonic of our primary here, so I believe it's exactly 4 times the length of that. Okay, it's close to about 98 feet or something over. Right, go loops around. It's this wire right here. Goes here. Another 10 jumbo LEDs that are blinding right now. Blinding bright comes over here and then connects to one end of the capacitor. And then I got my meter probes on there, and this bulb is also in parallel coming off of that capacitor. It's across the capacitor. Okay, and the other end, actually, here's that little tiny, there's a diode in there, I believe. Take my word.
Thank you, Mr. Lanius.
Going between the red and the white wire there. And just comes back around to the other end of our loop. That's it. Right now, across that capacitor and that bulb, you can see there's 126 volts.
126 across that bulb. Now, I'm only applying 12.
I showed you
nice.
Both schematics. Talked about it. Let me show you now real quick. If I remove this bulb, let's see, yellow and the black one here. There we go. Now, these will not be as bright now. There goes the voltage now. It's rising up.
Oh, hold
way
on.
Beyond 120, 168. I'm going to, let's see, we'll just change the frequency a little bit here now.
Sorry, I got to pause it again. You're about to blow your LEDs. You want to tell everybody what it is you should not do in this situation?
What is that? I keep blowing out that first LED all the time.
You should never hook straight voltage right into it when it's at its peak into LEDs.
For a resistor.
They tend to fry on you right away.
Yeah.
Put a pot in there as your resistor or potentiometer, and then slowly put it in, and it eliminates the problem. It just the resistance in the circuit at that point. You know what I mean?
I'll have to try it with a pot. I've tried many different resistors. I've done the math, putting the appropriate resistance in there, and it doesn't work the same. I don't know why. I'm trying to remember if I still wind up blowing things out, or if I don't think they worked. No matter what resistance I put in there, it hinders the system or something.
But
anyhow,
you do know that there is 0 resistors in a free energy system. They don't put them in there. Go look at any free energy system, you won't find a resistor in it, because
makes sense.
They're pulling the negative through the circuit, so they can't have the heat of the resistor in it because it's a loss.
Yep. That's why I don't like them. I don't like putting any resistors in my system. I'm like, why would I want to cut down my power, or have more voltage drops, or this and that? And it's like, no, you don't need that.
Let's take a look here. I'll put it back up.
Yeah. Let's see.
Trust me, I've done this myself a lot.
Got brighter.
That's why I went to the fluorescent bulbs, because they don't blow out like that.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. Now I'm just showing you guys quickly. If I get this tuned really good, I get 240 volts. Now that's with that capacitor. That's only 25 microfarads. Now we could also, instead, let me show you a couple LEDs here. I'm not going to light them all up, guys. They're not even all working right now. But I'm going to connect those right where this bulb was across here. Let's see, that's positive, and I got some long wires going across everything. Oh, geez, Paul.
Right there.
You dumb idiot.
I dumped it, yeah.
You idiot, Paul.
There you go.
Discharge them first, Paul. You don't put 180 volts across 24. Oh, my God.
Try it and find out.
Oh man, let's see if
didn't want to discharge it before connecting it up, No.
This can even work over here now.
Oh man.
There.
There. Wiggle the wire test, see if it turns on. Love it.
I fried my LEDs. I can't believe I just did that. Almost did it again. Yeah, some of them are
just glutton for punishment there.
Yeah, right.
But anyhow, guys, these are diffused. They're not like super bright white, blinding in your face, because they're diffused. And I can get them brighter. Now you got to retune. Oh, there you go. It's brighter right now. Now we're at 2.3 megahertz. Now these LEDs are blinding bright again, and these are pretty darn bright too. I was going to show you 400, but it's down to 300 now. Okay, let me see. What have I not said? And wanted to talk. All right. Now we're going to discuss this guy here and its importance, whether it's important or not. All right, it's funny, guys, because when I first started this project, we could talk about all those hybrid capacitors too and stuff. Oh man, what a nightmare. Anyhow, there you go. Here, this was my first original one. This plate. This was my transmitter receiver. There's another tab on the other side.
What anti-gravity devices do I think are real?
You got to say Hutchinson, right?
I was just going to say that exactly. Hutchinson, absolutely. When you start, yeah. And it's funny because he's recreated his laboratory, I think, for at least 3 different governments. And they all pretty much did the same thing. Oh, thanks for building that laboratory for us, John. Okay, we'll see you later. And that was that. You know? And yeah, it's anti-gravity. You know, the government's like, well, you know, thanks for you know, confirming what we're already working on. You know, yeah, right. You know, and they probably got at least 3 or 4 other methods. It's funny. Me and John also worked on ARV, alien replicated vehicle, before too, with a group of about 50 people. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Oh, come on now. You got to tell the story.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about Gordon Novell. John might have mentioned him before. He's a guy we were involved with once, and there was a group of 50 of us, about 50 of us. I can't mention any names. Oh, I meant to grab the papers from that though, but oh well. I could only show you a simple sketch anyhow, but it wasn't much to look at. But we were all working on reverse engineering. This guy, Gordon Novell, yeah, he created this group. He thought we were the most powerful think tank in the world. You know, John was the chief electrical mechanic or whatever, electrical engineer. I was a chief machinist. I don't know if you know that about me because I'm a machinist by nature. That's what I've been doing over 40 years of my life.
Nice.
Tool maker, machinist, master machinist. Yeah. Me and my father had our own business and stuff. And unfortunately, COVID got the best of that and went into great debt, and then had to sell the business to pay off the debt. 1 or 2 years. After 40 years, man. But yeah, this Gordon Novell, the group, about 50 people. It's cool reading about each one of these people. I mean, numerous of them had books. They write books. A few of them were professors. One guy, I think, owned his own law firm. Another guy owned his own oil refinery. One guy's in the CIA or ex-CIA. Yeah, so it's an interesting, very interesting group of people. And I had to read the 750-page book before I could join his group and sign the NDA. And this book is really cool. It's called The Supreme Cosmic Secret. I don't know if you could find it on Amazon or not, if his family is still selling that book or not. But it's written as a court case with Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and he's got all the collection of some of the best UFO shots and stories that have ever been collected. So it's a beautiful reading this stuff and seeing these photos and reading the stories of the people's encounters with the spaceships and everything. So we had to take all this information and try to start building something. We kept telling Gordon, you know, this thing is getting bigger and bigger and heavier as we're designing it. He'd be like, oh, no, it don't matter, right? The thing's going to be anti-gravity, right? And it's going to be a time machine too. And he had every single detail, I mean, figured out. It was unbelievable, the amount of details. If you made a time machine, who would use it? How can you trust anybody to use something like that? And he even had it built like, if somebody stole it or took off in it or went anywhere, it would self-destruct. Oh, that was like a protective measure.
Self-destruct.
And yeah, I was trying to figure out how to thousands and thousands of volts and massive cables. I did come up some way to combine them all into some small area, but we only got to a certain point. Yeah, he was going to. Area 54. He was going to have his own place in Arizona. I couldn't fly all over the country with everyone else was going around, and they'd have a sign at the front desk, you know, you got to show your social security. Trespassers will be shot.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny, but well, not funny, but all of a sudden, Gordon Novell, the leader of the group, has a sudden heart attack. And that was the end of that.
Oh, wow.
So isn't that ironic? Huh? How many times have you heard that story? Like, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got to ask you, since you had a group and you had a device, did you get anywhere with it? Did it lift? Did it do anything?
No, we never got out of the design stage.
Mm.
We're all designing, and that was it. All of a sudden, something happened to him. It was like, oh man, I can't believe this! Wow. And yeah, that was an interesting adventure there. Yeah, because you know all this stuff is real. I mean, UFOs and all that, absolutely, positively, anti-gravity. There's no doubt in my mind at all. And after learning all this stuff, I remember driving to work over the next couple of weeks. It was like I took that red pill. You know, you're gonna take that blue pill or red pill. Oh, now there's never going any back. I've learned all this stuff. It was like everyone else was driving in slow motion around me. It was like that's how I kind of felt. It was just like I was in my own bubble, my own world for a few months there. I was like, man, people don't know about this and that. And it's like people have no idea. It's all real. Anyhow, yeah, that was the story with Gordon Novell. So that was an adventure there. You're working on a UFO.
So I just want to show you this, since that's kind of stuff you're working on, right? It's ironic that he says time machine, okay, and UFO anti-gravity, because the two are interlocked. And if you're in, you're in. You know it, right?
Yeah. They're like, you know, who's going to go back in time? Can we go back in time? Can we just go back and observe only? You know, it's like, all these things. Like you said, who you can give the power to? Who's going to be able to use this? And he had it all worked out. Yeah, it's just crazy details. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, this looks so cool.
So I got a sphere inside of a sphere inside of a sphere. And the black caps will be able to be switched out with aluminum, bismuth, whatever we decide to put on there. So we're going straight into time dilation with this device. You're going to see if we can't create gravity and time dilation. Those are the goals.
Are those just electrodes, or is that going to spin inside there?
So there's shells. There's another half to the shells that goes over them.
Yeah, right.
And then the outside and inside one go out the same rotation, and then the smaller one on the inside, or is it the medium one, goes at a different rotation.
Love it. Love it. Are they just spinning opposite, or are they spinning in completely different directions? So
counter rotation. So we'll pin it from the top and bottom, and some will spin to the right, some will spin to the left.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Yeah, I like that very, very much.
So that's on my table right here, ready to be assembled. That's what I have to do this weekend. So
I'm going to be watching that one.
Yeah, I told you I'd tell you and show it to you because you talked about time dilation, so I had to bring it up a little bit. This is my first attempt at pulling it in. Besides what my gravity flyer pulls in, this is the next step.
That is very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I love it, man. That's going to be very interesting. So much you could do with that.
Yeah. Well, everybody learns one way or another, man. We're going to pull all the cool stuff out of it. So, yeah, but that's cool, man. You guys had a group, and, engineers. On the channel here, we have a lot of cool people, man, that all come in and help out and, have their own inventions and stuff, working on their own patents. And everybody's really good behind the scenes, man, about getting with each other if they need help with a Tesla coil, if they need help with circuits. They're all really good people, man. So got a great community.
Yeah, I can't wait till later on too. When we're done, I'm going to go back over and look at all the comments and see what ideas that, that's where you get the best ideas from other people,
Oh yeah. Trust me, these guys are smart, man. They've got it.
I learned a lot of the stuff you did about the voltage. Did we talk about that on the air? It's all about the voltage, not the current.
Well, let me give you a caveat to that. And if you take 2 pieces of copper, it's a 1/2 inch copper, right?
Yeah.
Just put a divider in the center so they can't hit each other and spark over, right?
Okay.
Wrap the entire thing with wire. Now you're going to get cold current. Now, when you think about that, like Edwin
Both
Gray.
of those coppers, one wire going across both of them?
Yeah.
One wire on one, different wire on the other one.
There's one wire across the entire thing. It's wrapped. Okay.
Okay.
And I'll send you the video. There's little bolts on the end and stuff like that. Anyway, it's pulling the cold current of Edwin Gray. So he uses the radiant energy from the center of the Tesla coil and that cold current in order to flip-flop to run motors. So I'll have to send you the guy that's working on it. Michelle is working on it out in England. And he put up the video for the cold current. It's extremely interesting how this stuff works. It doesn't got a whole lot of magnetic value to it at all. It's beating Lenz's law, but it's pulling pure energy.
Yeah.
So you got the voltage, right? Now there's a spot for the current.
Yep. Yep. For many years, I just had an antenna in the air. I was working with that. And like I said, I got over 127 volts out of it by adding that coil and the ground and everything. And also made a difference how close my circuit was to the coil and the ground. That was interesting. I mean, my antenna was only 22 feet high, 60 feet long. I'd get over 120 something volts out of it. That was pretty interesting. And then in my last series of that project, I had one videos, didn't even get that many views. It was probably the most boring one, but actually it was the most important one. It talked about, and I did all the math, the joules, the time, and everything. I said, look, I said, watch, if you charge this capacitor with 40 volts, you know, it goes up this fast. But if you charge it with 120 volts, look how fast that capacitor charges. I only had microamps at that time. There was like virtually no current, all voltage. But those capacitors charge up really fast. I said, more voltage you got, faster those capacitors charge up. You want to see the current? Discharge the capacitor. There you go. I said, there's your current back. You want to see the current?
I did it with my infrared camera the last time I discharged my big capacitor.
Yeah.
Because I was doing the same thing. I pulled remember the can that I showed you on my video?
Yeah.
I put it around that can and got it in there. That diodes were my mistake in the whole system. They were too slow. They couldn't charge it fast enough in that capacitor to be able to put a duty cycle on the other end and run that motor. But it'll run that motor. It just needed different it just needed those different diodes. They weren't fast enough. So,
I like that. Yeah.
So that hold on, let's go back to that antenna thing because you got me going here. All right.
Yeah.
So you did the antenna, so you got the voltage from the air, right? So you're able to pull it out of the ionosphere. Is that what the concept was?
Yeah, it's you know, people say, oh, you got a radio station near you, got a power this near you. I've tried it in 3 different locations, got the same results. But a lot of people, we're surrounded by all these satellites, radio. I said, yeah, but there's even more radiation being hitting the planet from the cosmos than there is from the man-made things too. I said, you got the sun, you got the moon, you got pulsars, quasars, you got black holes, you got all this stuff. We're getting hit with this radiation all the time. It's out there and it's there. And then you get these naysayers, right? All these people saying, oh, you're going against the laws of thermodynamics, right? You can never get more. We're not breaking any laws of dynamics or physics or nothing. We're getting the energy that's already there. And mainstream science and everyone will agree there's electrons in everything. There's atoms in everything. So there's electrons in everything. So if there's electrons in everything, is it that hard to believe that you could extract that from other things, from the air, from the ground? Sure you can. And with that antenna, I think of it as like pulling a plug. Like, let's think of the air and we do have atmospheric pressure. It's like being underwater. Think about we're underwater, and with that antenna, you're just making a crack in the earth like a tectonic plate or something. You're pulling the plug. You're creating a drain. So you're not just going to be collecting energy from that square meter that's at this altitude. You're drawing energy from very far away, right? Just like the ocean, you pull a plug, you're going to suck energy from everywhere. It keeps coming nonstop.
Yeah.
It's not breaking any laws. You're just taking what's already there. That's it.
So check this out. It's, oh my God, I want to say this. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. And then they tell you you can't get more than what you put in, right? Well, yeah, they didn't account for the environment they were in, and they fail. That they overlook that when they tell you that, and it's like, yeah, we're pulling it in from, the room we're in. We're pulling it in from the outside. We're not necessarily creating the energy. We're creating the ability to pull the vortex to pull the energy in. That's all we're doing. We're putting a draw to the system, and we're pulling it in no matter what we're building. And as soon as you realize that, things start to become easier. Can I pull it from the ground? Yes, absolutely. I could pull it from the ground. Can I pull it from the sky? Absolutely, I could pull it from the sky. Now the handcuffs are off, right? Now you can't tell me how much energy I can take, because now it's here. I can take as much as I want. I just got to have a bigger draw.
There you go. Yes, exactly. I love it. Yep. Yeah, you got those naysayers. Some people going to school for years and got all these doctorates and all this, but they've only read the textbooks. That's the problem. You got to step outside the box. And if you want to go to that next level, you guys think outside the box. You got to get away from the textbooks, regular things, and everything you read in textbooks is at least 25 years, 50 years old anyhow. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. If they put that in the textbooks, they'd all be out of business, right? It's like, well, what do we need some of this for? What do we need the energy company for? It's already there for free for us, right? We'd all just be putting antennas in the ground and pulling the energy.
Yeah, right. What, we've been producing electricity the same way for over 150 years. Look how a television and a cell phone has evolved. But the way we create electricity, nothing. It's not involved at all, has it?
No,
we're still doing it the same way. Yeah, right.
Okay, I want to bring up one more experiment, and then Jarvis wanted to come in and talk to you for a little bit. By the way, Jarvis is like an encyclopedia for Tesla knowledge. So, I want to make sure he gets to be able to speak with you. So, we're going to take a look at this real quick. And this is the 2 Tesla coils, or number 2 coils. Now, is there a rod of copper down the center that goes in the ground on this one?
I don't think it's in this one. I might do it most of the way. Yeah, I think I do add the pipe later on. I show the difference in the voltages before and after.
Okay. Let's take a look, because these are some of the ones I wanted to see.
Okay, so that's the dimensions for the coil. Now, what I'm going to do is connect this coil in between the antenna and the circuit. So, let's see. I don't know if I should turn the camera off or what, but I like people to have an unedited video, so I'm not cheating, but all right. If you get bored, fast forward. I'm not gonna edit this part, but you really can't see everything I'm doing over there. Let's see. Okay, this end of the coil now will. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Or you could fast forward the video. Let's see, that goes there. This goes to antenna. Okay. Hang on. Bear with me.
Coils in between the circuit and the antenna.
This one here. Okay. Okay. I think we got it. Okay. That's it. You could see, let me get this camera off the tripod here. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Let me show you everything's going on here. Now we're getting a lot more voltage. And I could still pick the circuit up in the air and get a lot more yet by raising the antenna or lengthening the antenna. Okay, so this is the coil. Let's see, there's one wire coming off of the top here, okay? And that comes around right to the antenna wire going up to the lab. Okay, now this yellow wire is just to keep the antenna wire tight or taut. See, it's just tied around here. It's not a ground. It's not acting as a connection. It's only clipped to the rubber area there. It's just holding the antenna tight so we don't go pulling our coil all over. Okay, so the bottom of the coil then is over here. And that goes up here, goes up, 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 crossing over. Let's see, where are we going? And to the front of our circuit, right where the antenna was. And everything's the same here. This is still going to our ground.
There's the ground.
Okay. Now we're over 2 volts. Okay, let me back
charging
up so
the capacitor.
Get a shot of everything here.
And this antenna, that's just a little play,
and that's it,
setup
right up to there
for the cameras. I'm like 10 feet high. Yeah, real short.
You say the antenna was 10 feet high on this one?
Yeah, that's it. Just a real short one. I just did this real quick just to show an explanatory video here. So believe me, I was, instead of 2 volts, I'd have 127 volts.
Nice.
This was just like a real quick play, set it up real quick to show everybody here. Let's see if I wind up putting that pipe in there or not.
Oh, there it is. Come on now.
We're not sticking it into the earth ground. We're just...
Oh, you might be manipulating the frequency right here instead.
Yeah.
The video I saw, the other one, it had it in the ground, and then you put the coils over it and picking up the energy from the ground.
Yes. Yeah. And the coil, I would get about like an extra, by putting the ground rod in there and sticking it into earth ground, I got about another 40, 50 volts off it.
Oh, yeah.
And then depending on how close I have the circuit to them coils in the ground made a huge difference. And I was like, oh, I didn't expect that one.
Well, Tesla had a patent, if I'm not mistaken. I'll bring Jarvis in and he could tell us. Didn't he have a radiant energy patent that pulled the energy from the sky and then put it right to the ground, so it made a circuit between the two and you can pull off of it? Jarvis, how you doing?
Hi, Jarvis.
Anyway, this one's really cool, man. I like this. You pull the energy from the air, you pull it from the ground. Yeah, Corona motor, man. Run a Corona motor up in the air.
Yeah, I know. After I did this, lid motor actually did that. He connected the antenna then on his quad, what do you call them? The
copter? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, after I did this, a lot of people were replicating it online.
Well, yeah, I mean,
pretty good one.
You're getting energy from basically the atmosphere. So why not do that?
Right. I've seen even a guy have pretty good results. Instead of just one long antenna, he wound up hooking it onto sheets of aluminum foil and then hanging them on his wall. And I was like, that works pretty good too. I guess it has, mass enough area on there, surface area, I guess.
So kind of like a little solar panel type action with tinfoil, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And my last antenna is one wire that separates into like 5 or 6 wires and then comes back into one again. It gave us a little more current too.
Nice.
Now, see, now again, I think that can eventually power this.
Oh, the antenna.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, okay.
We
I'm
got
down
a
with that.
pulse. It took me years. I know a couple people kept pounding into my head. You just need a pulse, Paul. You just need a pulse. And I remember you saying something about that too when your
I have
vortex in the
pulse.
air. You gotta have that pulse. That's so important. You gotta have that pulse and get all that energy then.
Yeah,
So,
that pulse is
yeah.
important. Without it, you don't drive the field.
I'm trying to get my audio straight. Is it okay?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hi, Jarvis.
The audio, whenever I tried to go with this mic, it didn't work. So I switched to the audio.
Gotcha.
Hey, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, by the way. I really like your work, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
Also
Thank
known
you.
as Paul. You're really on the right track, and you know what you're doing. I appreciate it.
Thank
what I
you,
was
man.
going to try to suggest to you, imagine
What'd
if
you,
like, sorry,
what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I was going to suggest, like, imagine if there was like a laser-induced lightning strike that went into the Earth, but the Earth at that point had a great dielectric to be able to store the charge. And like, what if you could harness the lightning strike power into the Earth? You could actually like power Atlanta. Where I live, I think you could power Atlanta for years.
I don't
If
know
you
why
were
it
to
hasn't
just,
been done already. I think it's
yeah,
completely
if you were to
doable.
just, yeah, if you were to just harness all the power of that strike at one location and just thought about the capacitance and the dielectric that you're using to store that strike, and you sent a laser into a cloud and induced this.
Oh man.
Oops. You're saying to induce the lightning with the laser? Is that what,
Yeah, that's what he said. You know,
that's
honestly,
interesting.
yeah. I just do it if you can hold enough of the energy in. Yeah, if you can get some kind of capacitance bank or something like that, or
Yes, am I out? Sorry, I'm
You're
lagging.
back in now. So what were you
Yeah,
saying now about sending a laser up and what
yeah,
create the lightning?
to induce the strike, because we know that Tesla thought that the Earth was full of what we could call electrons. I don't know what else to call it. Some people say, hey, you believe in the ether, you can't call it an electron, you should call it a dielectric field. And I'm just like, hey, what dielectric field do you want me to call it? Because dielectric means two fields, positive and negative, but the negative charge carrier is an electron. So I just call it an electron. You can call it a dielectric field, but it's easier to understand the charge flow of electrons because they're the mobile charge carriers normally in the interaction because they have a lot lower mass than an atom. And when it comes to an atom, you can have a positively charged atom, but they have more mass, so they have more inertia. And normally, we see a current as the charge transfer of a negative charge because it's more of a small mass. It's a gaseous type of mass than normally, like even helium still has two protons, so that's the alpha particle. If you were to take a helium molecule and strip it of the electrons, you get basically an alpha particle without the neutrons.
You basically have what?
An alpha particle without the neutrons.
Okay. Yeah.
And we call beta particles are basically high speed electrons. So anytime an electron has a high speed, you say it's a beta particle. You know, so I don't know what to call it. Some people say, look, dude, you should call it the dielectric field, but I see two different charges. I see a definite positive charge and a negative charge. So I just call an electron a negative charge carrier.
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. I just call free energy out of the air. That's kind of where we're at with it, right? I mean, we want the air around. I don't care what you call it.
I'm lagging. I'm gonna have to reposition some stuff here later, but what I'm getting at is Nikola Tesla viewed the Earth as a surplus of electrons. I'm just gonna say electrons.
Okay.
And the ionosphere, whenever the rays hit the ionosphere, it charges it positively. So
Gotcha.
there's a positive charge in the ionosphere and there's a negative charge in the Earth. And normally, when there's fair weather conditions, so it's 100 volts per meter, but it could be higher if there's a lightning storm coming. It'll be higher or lower.
Gotcha.
But the Earth has an electric surplus of electrons.
Oh yeah, there's energy everywhere.
And the ionosphere is being stripped of electrons and becoming positively charged by the influence of the sun. So there's a potential difference that just always exists. You know what I mean?
Yep. The greenhouse effect, things are bouncing around.
And it depends. Like I said, if there's a storm, it's going to increase, but whatever. The point is, you can induce a controlled lightning strike if you had something buried underground to actually absorb all that power, because man, the amount of power from a true lightning strike is like enough to power a land for 3 years, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why.
All you gotta do, you know what I mean? And all you gotta do is make a controlled lightning strike and store it. But the storage is the problem, you know.
Okay.
We got the weather warfare and all that stuff. We know how to control the weather a little bit there.
Yeah, but you got to be able to do it without changing the weather, because
right,
you don't want to induce rain all day. That would suck.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be able to work with everything.
Do you think that your triple layer capacity?
You're breaking up again.
Yeah, I heard part of it. Hold on. Wait till I see him move again.
My back.
Oh, you're going in and out, Jarvis.
All right,
so you're back. You were saying about you're wondering if the 3 plates I got could do something, or
do you think that's an important part of the Dr. Stifler diode chain?
What about the diode chain, Dr. Stifler?
Dr. Stifler kind of used a diode chain like it's similar.
Yes.
Do you think that the triple plate capacitor helps with that?
Helps that loop?
Yeah, just to disclose. I like whenever you're on here, you're on record. You know what I mean? So it's okay to disclose secrets, because it just helps everybody out. And this is
I know what you say. Yeah. Absolutely. Those 3 plates help. I believe the Stifler loop. Absolutely. I think I've taken it. I wish the guy was still alive. I'd be talking on the phone with him right now. I swear to God.
Yeah, he made some cool stuff. I think the diode loop though almost set like a trigger voltage.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Because each one would be like a 0.6 to 7, 0.6 to 0.7 type of potential before it breaks. And when you put it into a chain, you can get a higher voltage break on that. And especially if it's LEDs instead of diodes, because LEDs are just light emitting diodes, You can get a voltage to fire it off at the right moment, but it's a quick fire, you know, so it's a good trigger.
Right.
By putting the LEDs in the series, you can also like even do that to fire an SCR. And if you were to do that to fire an SCR, the SCR would just dump all the current at a very low resistance.
Oh, SCR. Yeah. Silicon rectifier. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You can use the LEDs to fire the SCR. Say you wanted it to fire at 90 volts, put a 90 volt chain of LEDs before firing the SCR. And then you'll get your LED flash and fire the SCR.
I'm making note.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll experiment with that now. We'll see. Yeah.
It's like an
Silicon.
expansion valve in a refrigerator. You know, you want it to fire at the right pressure, right? So you can control the pressure using LEDs, and then once the LED pressure fires it, you get that short circuit.
Okay.
What's your name on YouTube, Jarvis? You just go by Jarvis, or?
Mr. Lanius.
Oh, okay. So you were the one making a lot of comments there too. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I know. Now I got a face and a name that goes with the handle there. Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a fan, but I'd like to see that because, you know, I like refrigeration systems. The coefficient of performance is more important than the energy to me. I like to view it as a power type of relationship instead of an energy relationship because all energy is free. But the power is what I focus on, and it's really helped me, you know, to have a model to say, you know, just forget about the energy equations because it's just going to loop you around, and focus on the power relationships, you know, and the power relationships will bring you to the next level over the energy relationships, you know. So the first thing you need to learn there is the coefficient of performance. If you have a higher coefficient of performance out than in, then you have over unity.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, atmosphere or ground, definitely an over unity system when you pull it out from the start because you didn't pay for anything on it. You know what I mean? And then, so all you have to do is be able to draw more. So as long as your draw is not taking that much voltage, you know what I mean? Then you that's all you got to work with. And then you need a big enough capacitance bank because, you know, the rule isn't how fast you could do it because all you need is a big enough bank. You know what I mean? That's
the
it.
way I like to see it is the clapper in a bell has a low frequency, but if that clapper were at the same frequency of the bell, it would actually it would exponentially get power from a low frequency is all you need for the clapper, but the resonant frequency of the bell, you know, and if you put those in resonance, you can use a low frequency to get any frequency you want. And I'm going to show the frequency relationships whenever I get to that, but there's two frequencies, and you can use a low frequency to ring the bell, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
It doesn't take a high frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually better the slower you go because you're storing. The slower you go, the more you're storing in a magnetic field. And as soon as
you're keeping the bell ringing longer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can run it through a motor, which I suggest. So the question is, which motor is the best one to run it through? Is it a Newman motor? Is it a pulse motor? What type of motor is the question to run it through first, because you're building a magnetic field, you know, and like a mousetrap, you want to open it and let that magnetic field charge faster.
Right.
You know, because you're going to get thousands of volts on that capacitor. And like you said, it's the square. The energy stored in the capacitor is the square of the voltage. square the pressure. You know, so why not run a motor, open the circuit, and charge a capacitor as the first step? You know?
Okay.
I don't know if I need some kind of special type of motor. I was thinking about I might have to design one myself or something.
Just use an inductor. I was gonna use a reel of like I bury cable with my dad. I have a reel of coax. Just anything. It doesn't have to be a motor, but what you want is a high inductance and low resistance to send it through first. You know, like a mousetrap. So at that point, you're slowly pulling the mousetrap back, and then when it opens, it's snapping, and that snap is captured by a capacitor. It doesn't even have to be a motor. It could literally just be a coil that has a low resistance and a high inductance. You know, just like, and the higher the ratio between the inductance and resistance, the slower it could be. So you can have Schumann resonance very easily, but you have to have you can get Schumann and then resonate Schumann for more power. But Schumann resonance is a low frequency, so not even a motor. You just want an inductor, and you want to time it. And you want to time it right.
What's that, 7.3, 7.8? I forget.
7.83, I think it is. Yeah, and then, I don't know if it's changed since the last time we looked at it, but that's been the general number.
Just recently. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No.
I want to hear you, man. I'm a fan.
I was just saying, I did recently, last weekend, actually, I went through a bunch of experiments trying to get to a lower frequency, and I changed my primary coils here to a much bigger coil to get to the lower frequency. And basically, instead of my lights lighting up around 1 or 2 megahertz, you know, we're down to like 700 kilohertz all of a sudden. But I couldn't get that much energy. It's just no matter what I did, how I adjusted things, I tried and tried and tried. I just couldn't get it. And I even tried then going to a higher frequency.
Right.
And I don't know, for some reason right now, my system's working best at around this frequency. I don't know exactly why or what.
So let me.
Just as an idea, I did a calculation. If you were to go to Home Depot and buy a PVC pipe that's 1.5 inches, and you wrap aluminum foil around it and you insulated it with plastic wrap, the hertz, the frequency of that on a 50-foot thing of aluminum foil would be 2 hertz. Okay, so I did the calculation just to understand what Tesla was doing. You know, he was able to use a induction as a motor, but you don't have to do that. Just to study it, just take like aluminum foil and wrap it around a PVC pipe and insulate it with plastic wrap. That gives you, on 50 feet, that gives you 2 hertz. And you would imagine sending it through there would be instantaneous like normal electricity, but it's actually, it takes half a second to fully build its magnetic field. Like, you know,
wrap the aluminum foil though around the PVC pipe, huh?
Yeah, and insulate it with plastic wrap, and that gives you a 2 hertz per 50 feet. So when you want Schumann resonance, you know,
that'll be 50 feet though.
Yeah, a big thing of foil is going to come in handy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew I got that for some reason.
Yeah, the ratio is inversely proportional to the inductance and resistance. And by using a large surface area of aluminum foil, you're decreasing the resistance and increasing the inductance. So, you know, you don't even need 50 feet to reach Schumann resonance. You would need maybe
more surface. That's what you need.
12 feet. Yeah. I mean, I could figure it out. I just wanted to know, like, okay, I got a roll of aluminum foil, I got a roll of plastic wrap, and I got a PVC pipe that's 1.5 diameter.
Well, okay.
What would this make? And the calculation is 2 hertz. So you don't need that much to get To get the Schumann resonance, you actually decrease the amount of turns.
Okay.
You know?
So hold on. So let's just look at it like this. If we're in open air, we want high frequency. If we're pulling from the ground, we want low frequency. And it just has to do with the environment that you're in and how fast everything's moving in that environment. So when you're pulling from, like what we're doing from Tesla coil to Tesla coil, the higher the frequency, the better, right? But if you're pulling the negative through the ground, you want the lower the frequency in order to pull more power. And
okay, Tesla called 2 different frequencies.
Good point.
I'm just trying to tell you that's the way I've observed it in every single thing that I've done with my Tesla coil. It pulls that way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Tesla called the first stage the charge, and then the second stage where you can get whatever bell frequency you want based off the RLC circuit. He called that the work. So there was a charge circuit that was highly inductive and low resistance, and then there was a work circuit where it belled at a natural frequency, you know, and the secondary is best if it's tuned to a quarter wavelength off that bell frequency. Then you start getting to where he was at, you know. But there's a slow, there's a fast, and the fast can be not anything. There's a limit, but it's a multiple of, you know, the clapper and the bell. It's a multiple that will augment it, and then you use the quarter wavelength on the secondary to go to the next stage.
So hold on. There's another way to run something like this, and we can change probably the frequency of our Tesla coil by putting a trigger circuit in there and then also running the frequency generator on it. So put it in resonance. The trigger circuit goes in between to break the power, and then it adds a writing circuit onto it. So it adds a writing frequency onto the coil. So we can change that coil however we want. So I did the test with 2 DC flybacks, and what I was able to do was I'm able to lower the amps and bring up the voltage in the DC flyback to give it more static electricity. So when you go to a Tesla coil, it's no different. You're using the same kind of ZVS that you are for both units, right? At least in my case. So yeah, I can attenuate that in order to pull just whatever I want from the frequency generator in order to get the circuit to run right. So it's an interesting concept because now we can get the correct frequency no matter what. We're in control of it.
Yeah, I just want people to understand that it doesn't matter if it's a low frequency at first, because you can tune the higher frequency down the line. You know?
Right. I understand that. Build up the power in the low frequency at about 60 hertz, and then hit it with a secondary coil and push it up because it's an open air transformer.
And low frequency has a lot of power. You know what I mean? Just because people think that, you know, but if you start with the low frequency, you really do have a lot of power. And all I gotta say is, just like a mousetrap, it'd be stupid to try to pull it back at the same speed that it snaps. Then you would get the same power output. But normally, people just slowly pull that mousetrap back.
Okay,
and
so
let it open.
Let me explain. If you have low frequency, it means you have high amps. And when you have very high frequency, your amps are real low, right? So the lower the frequency, the higher the amps. So as you pull it back, it has more power. But then when you push it forward, like you're doing with your Tesla coil, the multiple windings is able to pull the frequency and attenuate a much higher frequency coming out, right? So you pull it back and have very little here, more amperage, then you're in a conversion ratio going to your secondary coil to push it out. And as soon as you do that, you're able to bring up the frequency real high. So
it's lagging.
Break it up.
What I would say though is, like when it's when it's understood that it's a power relationship due to the energy of time, because energy is free. What you want to do is you want to use time to manipulate energy to get more power out. You know, so time is basically the currency, because the lower the time of the energy, you get more power out. But the bill that you get is the multiple of that, so you're always going to pay for the energy. But if you were to pay for power, it'd be different. And power can come in different forms. There's reactive power, you know, there's active power, there's apparent power, you know, but the energy company pays you for energy. Boom. It's always going to be, the energy in is always going to be the energy out. And it's the relationship between the timing of the energy in and out that gives you more power. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Jarvis, we're gonna talk for a bit, man. We'll catch back up with you in a bit.
All right.
All right, man. There's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of interesting stuff. Hey, is your light lighting up brighter now? It's nighttime. You were telling me earlier, so I wanted to check with you.
I know. I'm thinking I gotta take a leak real quick. Can I have like a 1 minute break real quick and come back?
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you keep the audience tied?
Yeah, go for it. I'll just talk with Jarvis for a little bit.
As soon as I come back, we'll have the climax here. Hold on.
Okay, you got it.
So it would take a good dielectric to store that lightning strike if you wanted to power a city. What would you choose? Obviously, quartz is good, right?
Oh, I use quartz, yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta store it somehow. So you know what I mean? I don't know that getting all that energy all at once would be helpful. You know what I mean? Probably just overload everything and destroy everything more than you know what I mean, help in getting it all the energy. But
we got to think, like on a beach, it's naturally quartz sand, and
no, don't get me wrong.
There's got to be a huge amount of energy stored on a beach.
We're not set up with a, you know what I mean, with the right stuff in order to pull that storage in. So I guess if you do it, it would seem that we don't really need it. Like there's enough energy in the ground and in the air to do this stuff, because if all you have to do is power the primary mover and that's all you need to do, then over unity is not that hard, because then you're going to pull the energy from the environment and the system anyway. So I don't think that it's necessary. We don't need more than like maybe 40 volts to do a prime mover, and we could pull way more out of that consistently than we ever could. You know what I mean, from the lightning, because it's just destructive.
It's an exaggerated like proof. Okay, it's an exaggerated proof. Like if that were possible, then it's obvious that we have over unity, because the amount of power that you could store, you know. So I agree with you, but I'm just saying, like, just think of it like, if you doubt it, over unity happens naturally. I mean, you can harness, like in theory, you could harness a lightning strike and power a city, you know, for like years.
If you have the right system set up, absolutely. Right. But it would take a lot of infrastructure to do that.
Right. In theory. And I agree with you. I say depower, like decentralized finance, decentralized power system. And I think, like you don't need that, but it's kind of something to make people think, like, okay, in theory that's possible, you know, because some people don't see it over unity, and they have to understand that it's
Jarvis,
very difficult.
We could throw 2 million volts at a UFO and see it fly, but I'm not going anywhere near that thing. Okay, I'm not getting in there, and I'm not going for that ride. So, I mean, we kind of have to be a little more realistic about what we're trying to do. I mean,
I agree.
once people figure that out and they understand that the frequency, the resonance, they understand the power, the positive
Right.
electricity in order to get something to fly, they'll never do it in positive energy with the little bit of energy they want to put into it. You got to have massive amounts.
I believe through the channel you're providing people that we'll be able to share the intelligence to where people can be independent with energy at one point and share it with their neighbors. I honestly think that you're providing this type of platform, you know, and that's why I mean, I wouldn't waste my time, but you're providing the type of platform that people need to just start helping and then help your neighbors. Just start from your home. Don't rely on the government. The government is not going to help you out. FEMA, I don't want to talk.
They can't even lower my gas price. How are they going to help me out with free energy? Yeah, I understand.
You're providing the platform for people to get a basic understanding. Because you can't just tell everybody all at once. Like, I think Gerald's one of the most intelligent people that you have had on here, and you can't just throw it on people. It takes several episodes and chats so intelligent, but it takes a slow discussion, a hashing out, if you will. If you disagree, that's cool. I really want you to tell me why you disagree.
Well, look, regardless of all that, it's talk about it, build experiments, show people how it works, let other people come on with their experiments, share their experiences, show them, you know, your stuff, and then eventually we all succeed. That's the way it works. We got a community and everybody comes in and does their thing, and you know what I mean? That's the way it has to be. It's never good to just have one person have all the answers, because then government shuts that person up, we're all screwed, right? You know what I mean? That doesn't work for me. Everybody's got to be able to have the answers. That's why I put everything out there without patents for free. I want you to know it.
Yeah. And, you know, I do have a patent, but I have it for several reasons, you know, but you provide the platform for open discussion, and people that really want to know this will find you. And you are, like Joe said, you're kind of like the Art Bell of engineers that are really like, hey, I want to share. I want to just disclose, because you know what? At least I'm on record. At least somebody's providing a platform to where I can say, I have this system or that system, and I don't have to go through the patent system. I can just publicly disclose it. And I really appreciate what you have done. You've put the work in to get to the point you're at, but you're like an Art Bell, man. Come on.
I'm nowhere near that, but I appreciate the compliment. That man's a legend. That man's a legend. Yeah. So we won't even go there.
Art is on it though.
he's just on another level, man.
You get what I'm saying, though.
I do.
You provide a good platform, you know, where people can hash it. That's what I want. I want to be disproved because I want to learn. I want to know that I'm wrong or right on different aspects in order to get to the point to where all of us, by this discussion, can be independent and be free. Once you can make your own power, you're free. You don't have to worry.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. Even if we make our own power, the government's going to find a way to put a meter on
it. Maybe you know, it could be the time where they allow it, though. You know, as long as it's not dangerous. And like, I'm trying to be safe about everything. I'm trying to slow step it, you know, because
you know what, Jarvis? Here's what I think. As long as it cleans up our environment, as long as it helps the future and gives my kids a better place to grow up in, I've done my job. Okay? That's it. You know what I mean? I'd love to get in a UFO and cruise the whole solar system. You know what I mean? That'd be like a total win for me. But Other than that, man, I just want my kids to have a better place to grow up, and I can see that we're not getting there now, and it's
Yeah,
just
we're getting there. They're not getting there.
no. They have it by us putting the pressure on by showing things. It forces their hand. That's all we're doing.
You're making waves, though. You know what I mean? Like I said, like a lot of the things that happen on your show is parroted. They just parrot it, and you know, but that's cool. I mean, at least the information's getting out. You know, but they parrot a lot what we say on your channel.
Well, I want them to parody my experiments is what I'd like them to do, Jarvis. Then they don't have to listen to anything I say. They can just build it and tell everybody what they saw.
Right.
Then, you know what? Then it's really going to help all their viewers out. That's kind of the message, right? Don't just say what I say. Do what I do. You know what I mean? Just put it out there and show it. And you know what? All you got to do is ask. You know what I mean? Hey, can we use this video? Can you come on and show us this? Whatever you need, man. That's all you got to do is ask. You know what I mean? I give people a platform. If you need some information, all they can do is ask.
But it's just been awesome what's happening. I hope Paul comes back on. Is he backstage?
Wow. Paul's taking a long time, man. Must be like a hike to get over to the restroom from where he's at. Must have his workshop out in the middle of nowhere.
I seem lagging. I think I'm lagging.
You lagging?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Paul's still gone? He's not coming back. It's okay.
Man, yeah, my computer's kind of lagging right now too.
Anybody want to jive with Jarvis? If Nathan can put the live link in the chat, like you can come on and we can hash stuff out.
Yeah, the floor is always open, man. We got really cool things lined up, man. We talked at 8 Center yesterday, and we have some more stuff on the Organite, man, and it's really, really some good episodes in there, man. It was quite long, so I broke it into 2. Then we also have tomorrow Nick coming on. Dude, Nick's coming on. He's got the Corona motor and stuff like that, so that's planned for tomorrow, man.
I want to see that. Yeah, I've been wanting to see that. Can I say one thing, though?
Oh, go ahead.
Plug. That's all I'm going to say.
Hilarious, wasn't it? Paul, you there?
That was great, man.
Paul, you there?
That was fantastic.
You got like a black screen.
Is Paul?
Yeah, we're trying to get him back in here, and then we'll see see the last experiments, man, and then close it down for the night.
Yeah, it's getting a little late. I guess we should go ahead and call it, I guess. So the CIA is chiming in, Jeff Fuchsius. What they're doing is they're trying to interfere with the waves we're making. Just rattling off some joy. This group really could, if we work together, we really could make waves. And I have a plan, and hopefully you guys have a plan too. As long as we stay as a group, we can really make a difference. Everything's recorded. You can be a part of it. Join the chat. Join the discussion. Be a presenter. And we can all do it. We can do it together. We have to do it together. It takes a group. And at least Nathan's a good leader.
Sorry, my whole thing dropped out.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, my daughter's there trying to play with the internet and reset it. So,
Oh no.
oh wow.
Can you hear me?
Oh my God, Paul's trying to get back on. It's all messed up, man.
There we go.
Paul, you
Hold on.
there? Oh, we might have something in a minute. I'm so sorry, guys out there.
We're all three are out for a second. This happens, man. You know, but it happens when you start disclosing truth. I mean,
There's just a guy working on the internet. Freeze now. Hold on. Oh, man. Yeah, we're frozen.
A center. Right light, gremlin. Don't feed them past 12. We can make it happen, A center. It's not dead yet. It's dead as long as we can all just chat. Get in chat and I'll try to chime in on something. I'll try to hold it for the old man. They're trying to suppress this information, but it's going to get out either way. Yeah, something was leaked tonight that I think they don't want out. Cornelius Elborn. Yeah, I think he's rebooting to creating awareness. That's probably what he should do. I don't know if there's solar flares or some type of background radiation going on that's hindering his signal. Yeah, Stefan. It is going. Yeah, there might be a solar flare going on. I mean, we're in solar maximum, and it was discussed on this channel before. It may not be global warming. It may be just the sun being active. 11-year cycle, and it could just be like a bunch of solar flare things going on. But we can't freak out and say it's some global warming thing. If it's global warming, we should stop microwaving the atmosphere whenever we track planes, with the radar, and they try to blame it on cow farts, and that's stupid. The sun matters more than any of this stuff, guys. Like, the cows can fart all they want. We can radar the atmosphere all we want to track planes with the radar, but the sun is going to have the ultimate influence. So I just don't believe in global warming. I think it's a farce. Yeah, the sun has been very active. Moon is halfway. All right, Abe. I trust Abe. Yeah. Do you think, Abe, if you could respond, do you think the moon on full has more influence than the moon when it's new, when it's completely dark? Like, what's the difference, do you think, I guess? If it's dark compared to new, what's the difference? Yeah, it's not man-made. I mean, it's it's partially man-made, but it's more of a solar cycle. It just naturally happens every 11 and a half years. I mean, drill, baby, drill. Come on, old man. Where you at? I guess old man's trying to get back on. I guess I'll discuss what I'm trying to do with electrics. I'm just going to try burst mode on a pulse width modulator with the taser module just to get started, because I want to try to do it on an easy way for a basic income where anybody can get going with this. Just an easy high voltage generator. I'm also planning on putting a just grill igniter. Once I drill a hole in this and vacuum it, I want to put a grill igniter and just push the grill igniter with the diode to charge the electric. Wind source machines and vantographs could work. I've contemplated a really easy way is just to get a high voltage. And instead of magnetism, you don't have to wrap copper. See, this is why I think with us negotiating rare earth minerals over with Zelensky, with electrics, you don't have to have rare earth minerals. You can literally use clay and sand and explore, you know. So that's what I'm saying. Even though I own the patent, I want people to explore this. I just want to share it. And I felt like Tesla put it on record with patent, just to have like a manual, just on record. And it's on record, so anybody can look at it if they want. But electrics are going to be similar to magnets, but magnets are just the tip of the iceberg. And that's all I want to say right now about that. But I encourage you to follow along, because I think you can make very easy systems at home using natural things around you to provide power, ultimately. Okay, so with the full moon, you think NPC characters and actors are taken over by the negative entities since the rise in the crime rate. I actually lived with a roommate. My roommate was an EMT in an ambulance, and she'd back you up, Ace Center. She said that every time there's a full moon, they get more calls. Like a full moon has a different influence. I'll just back you up. Yeah, Tommy guy. There's more than rare earth minerals. They have vast amounts of iron ores. Yeah, but the iron ores can be in clay. Clay is full of iron ores. You know, clay is just oxidized iron. I saw INVENTOR3 for a second. They can make steel with those too. Yes. Yeah. With clay, you want to dry it out and then use a thermite reaction, and you got iron, and then the iron can be mixed with some charcoal to make the steel. Yeah. Tommy got a good comment. The warm moon. I never heard of the warm moon. Huh, on the 14th. Warm. Is that like warm wood? Like I've heard of warm wood, but I haven't.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're good, man. You're on. Yes.
We all here? Guys, I don't know if this is going to last very long. This thing is just driving me nuts right now.
It's okay.
Hello?
You're back. You're back on. You showed them they can't just shut you up, man.
Well, thank you everybody for being patient. I appreciate it. So
Creating awareness. Yes, I want to use water glass. I'm going for geopolymers in the future, but I'm starting with just waxes for historical reasons. But yes, creating awareness. I'm going to water glass.
all right, yeah, let's pull this there and we're good to go. So back out again. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, nothing's working, guys. There we go. Jarvis, have you ever tried to polarize water glass with an electric? Do you think it's possible?
Yes, geopolymer is what I was saying with that.
Paul, what's up?
I think the coolest composite.
There we go. Oh, come on. You just had it.
Yeah, you're in here, man. You got your audio. Keep talking, man. Keep talking. You're in here.
Well, I'm in here.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Hear
you're
me.
in. Yeah.
I want to show you my system behind me. Oh, no.
Oh,
I
man.
can try my phone again. Let me
your phone would probably be better, honestly.
exit out and do you from just the phone by itself here.
Okay.
That should be
Hold on.
better.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, definitely got us today, man. Yeah.
I'm interested. Like, I wanted to try a sulfur with beeswax composite.
There. Oh my
There we
God.
go. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right, man.
All right. You ready to see the light?
Yeah,
I don't know
let's
if you
see
can hear me.
everything.
Let's do it.
Can you see me okay right now? Does it
Yeah.
look a little bright in here?
Oh, look at those go, man.
That's awesome, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
your latest, your latest videos. Are those 5Y LEDs?
Let's see. See, these two are the brightest. Oh,
Are they each 5 watts?
yes. Are they lit to a full 5 watts? No.
That's okay.
But I'm going to show you this here, and then I'm going to turn the lights on, and I'll walk you right through my entire circuit here. Okay? So you can see it's pretty good.
I feel like I'm behind
brighter. Now, there's a reason these two are brighter. Let me turn the lights on here. Oh. All right, let's see. Because this is another design I've been working on here. Let's see, we come up. I should make sure I'm aiming this right. Can you see my frequency generator? Whoops, hold on. Okay, you see my hand, right?
Yep. We see it.
One wire from the frequency generator. I hope you can see this okay. There's my two.
Now, that was a black line. Is that a negative line from the frequency? It's a black line.
Yeah, here's positive. Here's negative.
All right.
Okay. Now positive. I'm trying to look in the phone here. Hold on.
Thank you for using the right colors. A lot of people don't even use the right colors.
Yeah, right. I try to make it easy to follow along here. Let's
Thank
see.
you.
I'm trying to look at the wire here. Okay. Here's the red wire. Okay, the red wire. I don't know if you can make out these plates or not here.
Yeah, we got you.
Red wire's coming into one plate. There's a bunch of layered plates in here right now. Okay, can you see this? Okay. The lights are going. This is the negative plate. Can you see that okay?
Is it grounded negative or is it negative off your line?
No, it's just a negative. Yeah, that negative coil that I showed you up there.
Okay.
See that black wire?
You You could ground that if you wanted to.
This, we'll see. I'll try that. Here's where it connects to the plates down here. Okay, and I
Nice.
get to move them up and down. Now in here, I got like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 plates. So my positive comes in as transmitter. Okay, it's coming into one of these plates. It's in the middle. And then I got 2 plates on top of the positive red one and 2 plates under it. So there's actually four layers of plates here. I don't know if you could see this or not. Can you see that a little bit?
Yeah.
Different layers.
What's the separation? Do you know?
Just a thin sheet of plastic. Actually, I acquired this plastic from my machine shop. It was anti-static plates for the sandblasting machine.
Nice.
So I'm not sure exactly what material they're made out of, but I expect them to be kind of neutral on the triboelectric series chart.
Right. Yeah.
So
wood's perfectly neutral, just to put it out there. Wood's right in the middle.
So yeah, there's one down. You see this one's underneath then our incoming transmitter wire plate. 2 down. This is the second one up. So anyhow, these 2 that are so much brighter here and up here, that's because they're on the inner plates that are closest to the transmitter plate, the one that's in the middle, the one up here, right? That comes in the middle. This is one plate. This is one plate. This is one plate. This is one plate. Now these 2 that are a little dimmer are on the plates that are farther away from the center. You understand?
Yes.
Now,
can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I think it's much better that you went with those 5-watt LEDs compared to the smaller wattage LEDs. I was not impressed with the first. Now you're like on the verge of really doing some cool stuff, man. I just love that you're using 5-watt LEDs.
Nice.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
You're doing so good.
All right. So,
but wait, I got one more thing. Now, wait.
Go ahead.
Now, when I add, what I'm going to do next, not today, but very soon, and I've already kind of did this in the past a little bit. When I add another top plate and another bottom plate, 2 more rows of lights, these lights will then all of a sudden get brighter, as bright as these. And these will get brighter, and then the last 2 that I add on will become the dim ones. And I can keep going like that, and that's sort of thing. I got to find out now how far I can keep going with that. How many layers can I keep adding? See, now you're getting that sympathetic vibration between those plates. They're kind of feeding off each other now. So that's why those other ones were a little dimmer, because they're on the farther plates. But when I add 2 more plates, they're not going to be the farthest ones, and they're going to get brighter. And you're going to be shooting all this resonance in between those plates.
Nice.
What's that?
Old man builds, like Nathan has been using 3 plates like that on the Gravifier. And you could give him advice on how to tune it in with the system you have here, because you're running 5-watt bulbs. And the distance and everything that you're measuring here really could help with the Gravifier.
Yeah. I think so.
It's a way to understand distance and plates a lot better, that's for sure. I love the setup, man. I just love the setup.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, like I said, those will get brighter yet when I add some more layers on there. Now that's the thing. I got to see how many layers can we add. Will things keep getting dimmer, or what? Or only the outside layers stay dim?
With the layers you have now, though, it seems encouraging, because if you just add more, You know what I mean? Like it's very encouraging with what the results you have right now. I would say is very encouraging.
Well, he's got them layered like a high voltage capacitor in there.
Right.
So it's
Yes.
yeah, it's aluminum foil and then screen, aluminum foil, then
Right.
screen. So and then he's compressing them. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's
It's
so
more
cool.
of a, it's more of
So
a scalar wave. Those electric fields are more longitudinal. Is all I'm saying.
well, yeah, but he's compressing the capacitance in order to,
Yeah.
pinch it. So it's giving more energy out. I love that.
Yeah. Dude, Paul, I have to say, I feel honored to be backstage with this at this moment. You've been doing a
Oh,
great job.
thank you.
Doing great, man.
I've been following you. Good job.
Now, see, I could try adjusting the distance between the plates. Where
Yeah.
is it? My little control knob here.
I love
Nice.
that it's analog. I love analog systems where you can.
There you go. As I
change it.
adjust the distance between the plates
That's awesome.
Oh, look
to
at that.
wide, opening it up, closing it together, closing it, they go out. So there's that sweet spot
Yeah.
right there. Nice. Whoops, almost dropped my phone.
It's analog. I love it.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Oh yeah,
Pretty
dude, that's
bright in
awesome.
here.
That's like you got like the ultimate end of show payoff right there with those lights, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. So I hope we didn't lose too many viewers when I went to the bathroom.
Oh no, we're all right.
They missed the best part of the show.
Yeah, the whole show went down, man. The whole thing went down. Oh, that's good, man.
Hey,
You know what?
All right.
I hope you come on again, man. Join the chat too, because I saw you in chat. You got some great comments.
Hey, Paul.
Thank you, man.
You're gonna have to come back again sometime, man. This is just too fun, man. I enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is just the beginning now. Now you got me all excited about this. Yeah, I'll have to set up some stuff. Maybe get my Tesla hairpin going or something here, huh?
Yeah.
You see, I got a nice Van de Graaff generator over here. See that giant sphere?
Oh,
Dude,
nice.
that's huge.
He's got all kinds of toys in there.
Oh, yeah. And you know, that's with John Hutchinson. He had no effects until Mel Winfield.
I was gonna say, man, that's all bad.
Oh, keep going, Paul. I want to hear this. Oh, hold on, Jarvis. Let him go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Hutchinson had no effects at all until Mel Winfield, a guy in Canada, is a scientist too, and he was dealing with losing mass off a block of wood and stuff, playing with this Van de Graaff generator, and he donated the Van de Graaff generator to John Hutchinson, saying, "Here, I think you really need this in your setup there," and that's what really did it too. So it's very important, that Van de Graaff generator, as far as exciting and loosening the particles that are around you or in everything. So it's very important with the Van de Graaff generator toward John Hutchinson setup, not just the Tesla coils. So it's very important to have that area effect like that. A charge. I don't know how. He says it like loosens up the particles more. But anyhow.
It expels stuff out of it as soon as you start to get that and the Tesla coil running together. You'll see particles expel from the whole thing. It looks like gas coming off of it. That's what you're looking for right before lift.
So you had mentioned
That is so cool.
You had mentioned, Paul, I believe that it was a cyclotron or some sort of radar radiator that he used along with the Van de Graaff, and then you said it was pulsed as well. Is that correct?
Radar radiator.
Did he use like a microwave radar plus
No. He built a he built a big ray gun and stuff, but no, in his main Hutchison effect, it's just a power amplifiers, frequency generators, his Tesla coil, and the Van de Graaff generator. That's it.
All right.
That's how you put everything together with the right amount of power and all that stuff.
I told everyone that. That's so
Thank
funny.
you.
I knew it.
Nathan
There you
didn't
go.
know it. Dude,
I
Nathan
already knew.
it.
Oh,
you.
man, I love it.
Guys. Yeah. So this has been a lot of fun, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's
but
not
hey,
as hard.
hold on, guys.
It's not as
Let's
hard as a lot of people think it's difficult, but yeah.
No, we're good. Hey, everybody give him a round of applause. Thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. Nathan.
Yeah.
Does anybody call you Nate or does everybody call you Nathan?
Oh, you can call me old man. You can call me Nathan, whatever you prefer.
Can I say Nate? I used to know a Nathan. Everybody used to call him Nate. So it's kind of. Does anybody call you Nate though, or?
No, no one does.
No.
But,
All right, then I'm not going to say that. Okay, Nathan.
That's funny.
oh, that's so great.
That's good.
All right.
All right, Paul.
All right, yeah, guys. So I'm going to get going then.
All right. I want to thank everybody in the chat, man. Thank you for hanging in with us for all the problems we had. I really appreciate it. Jarvis, thank you for coming and hanging out. Paul, awesome, brother. Can't wait to see you again. Man,
Thank you. Yeah.
Have a great
Thank
night,
everyone
everybody.
out there. Yeah, thank everyone in the chat too. I know Kim and Austin and many other people. I recognize their names out there. Thank you guys. Love you guys.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys soon.
Come back.
All right.